especially during the quarantine, I wake up in the morning and it's like, oh, why is this such a bad day? Once again, now where do I start? Dear love, dumbstruck with the pure love to find you here. Every morning I wake from the marvelous night. Sometimes still pondering the previous life. Hello everyone. So I've come up with like a 4-step thing that I do in the mornings to have better mornings, better days, and it's actually working. So I decided to share with you today so that you can have the same effect. So prior to this, especially during the quarantine, I wake up in the morning and it's like, oh, why is this such a bad day again? Wake up in the morning and it will go from worse to worse, especially if the morning was bad. It's like I had absolutely no control about how I woke up and how I felt after waking up, and that wasn't healthy and it wasn't good for me. So I started figuring or thinking about how I can make a more consistent morning. How can I have a more consistent morning? Like, how can I control the outcome of my morning no matter how I wake up? And these are some things that I figured out, which I'm going to share with you today. And you, to get the same effect or a similar effect, to get it to work for you, you have to follow all of the steps. It's not just that you choose one, you have to follow all of the steps that I'll share. And let me say this thing. This thing will give you a better morning, but it won't really help you maintain that that feeling through the day, that like emotional state through the day. That takes something, another thing, another type of thing. So I personally, I'm not going to touch upon that in this video, but because I haven't figured it out, I haven't figured it out yet. But when I do figure it out, I will make a video. Yeah, let's start. The first tip that I have is prepare the night before. So prepare the night before in order to wake up in a better state. Now there are so many tips of how to sleep properly, like make sure your room is very dark, sleep in 90-minute cycles. That is a good one. So there's so many things that you can do to have a better sleep. I won't get into that because it will make this video way too long, and that is another topic. So for now, I'll just say make sure you get good amount of sleep, and sleeping in 90-minute cycles is a good thing. Like making sure you, like, the time you set your alarm is a multiple of 90 from the time that you fell asleep, like 90 minutes from the time you fell asleep. And I know it's hard to calculate that thing, so there are certain applications that you can download that will tell you, like, if you sleep now, how many sleep cycles do you want, and when should you wake up to have that certain amount of sleep cycles. So if you want more info about that, I can speak about it in another video. Just let me know in the comment section, or just go and search for it on your own. One thing I do at night, turn off my phone into airplane mode. Sometimes I wonder or I worry that someone from my family, which is in another country, will have an emergency and they'll try to contact me, but they wouldn't be able to get me because my phone is on the airplane mode. But I find it to be better for me because I can't really sleep very far away from my phone. So by setting it on airplane mode, I stop my phone from sending certain signals, like emitting certain signals. That's why when you're in the airplane, it tells you to like turn it to the airplane mode, and that is healthier for me, a healthier way to have my phone around me. Even though that's not really that healthy overall, but you get what I mean. So have it on airplane mode, say my prayer, hope nothing happens while I'm asleep. By the way, I don't want to go on a tangent, but I want to say this white thing on my hair is styling product. My hair hasn't dried yet. I gave myself a haircut after the quarantine, the severe quarantine, I wanted to go further than this. So I'm not on a lot of social media, but the ones that I am in, I really control how much I use them and how they influence me. For example, one of them I use is LinkedIn. For LinkedIn, I've created like a extension, a web extension that it removes the feed from. I've not shared it with anyone. I just use it for myself. So what I do is when I get on LinkedIn, it removes the feed, and that's because I find that a lot of websites, they just throw things at you with no sensitivity on if you're ready to see what you're going to see in that feed. And I don't want to get into LinkedIn and then see something and be triggered. So what I do is I've created this extension, so when I get it, automatically it removes everything for me. And then it allows me to decide, like, do you want to see the feed? Okay, girl, bypass this and see it. If you don't want though, and you just got in to reply someone's message or something else, like, what's the point of having LinkedIn try to push something negative to me to watch? No, I want to have control. And it's not that I want to have control in the sense of I can't live without having control, but more of I want to decide what influences me and not things subconsciously influencing me without me having a say. By doing that, this thing at night with the airplane mode, and also turning off certain notifications and allowing only the ones that are necessary, so that when I wake up in the morning, the first notifications I get wouldn't be anything that is triggering. It's a very good thing. Now when you wake up in the morning, the first 40 minutes, you need to be very careful of what you do, because that is a very sensitive time, and if you mess up that time, then the remaining of the day will be a very hard day to deal with. So first 40 minutes, I avoid going to any type of social media. I'm not on many social media people anyways. So if you see any account and you think it's mine, it probably isn't, because I'm only on one place. But I'm on various like applications like Viber and WhatsApp and Telegram. Those ones, I prefer them the most because they don't have a feed that throws things at you when you don't want to watch those things. And you select the people that are in your list, well, somehow. But I mean, what will post you, it's not that it's all over in your face like a lot of social media, that when the first thing that you see when you get in them is the feed. So that's why I limit only those applications in the mornings. And even then, I see the preview. If a message seems to need a lot of effort from me, like mental effort, in the sense of, okay, this that this person has sent me was sent to make me upset, so I am not going to look at this message, or I'm not going to read this message at this time. I'll read it later on when I've built enough mental strength to be able to read it, and either not be bothered or be able to read it and deal with it in the way that I would like to deal with it. So this is the first, all the things that go with the first thing I prepare from the previous day for the next day. And these are some things that I do in combination of the previous and the day that I'm in, that I'm to wake up to help me. After I wake up, the next thing, number 2, is I stretch. I stretch my arms, I stretch my legs. Stretching is very important, because while you're sleeping at the bed, a lot of your muscles can't really move as you normally move them. So stretching helps you release that tension, help you relax those muscles. And the key points of the points that I make sure to stretch. Now, this part here on my neck, a lot of the tension that I get gets stored in there. So this part here on my neck, these muscles here, make sure to stretch those. My arms, I make sure to stretch those. My feet, make sure to stretch those. And it's good to stand and then like do this stretching where you bend towards the ground with your hands pointing at the ground and trying to touch your toes while in a vertical position. This is the basic stretch. Now, other stretches that I can do is this waist twisters, where you twist left and right, or neck like stretches where you go like this and then back and forth. And then my fingers, like those, I can't really show because I'm holding the camera. Anyway, I can do a video about that. If you want that video, make sure you let me know in the comment section. Otherwise, that video is not coming here anytime soon. You want to have something to focus on. As I said, you don't want to open the social media and those type of things. So what will you focus on? You have to give that brain of yours something to focus on, because your brain will be really curious in the morning and will want something to focus on. So what I do is that one thing I might do is pray and or read something positive and or meditate and or do affirmations. Now, for the affirmations, you don't need to sit down like 50 minutes or so. You need to know key affirmations that you feel are necessary for you. So for me, one of the things that I say to myself, one of the affirmation I say to myself is when I wake up, if I get a thought that makes me panic or makes me worry, one thing I tell myself is, you don't need to deal with this now. And that is the truth. Like, I just woke up. You don't need to deal with this now. Don't do this to yourself. You know, that is what I'm telling myself when I say that. You can say more affirmations, but like this one thing that keeps me grounded. Anyway, I won't get too deep into that. And the other thing that you have to do, oh my, he's here. So we have, I live in Greece, and we have those sellers that move around with their cars and shout while moving around, so that you can be alert and go and get something from them. So sometimes when I'm recording, they start working around with their cars. And it's like, oh my goodness, his voice is louder than my voice. Yeah, a lot of people tell me that they can't hear me clearly, so I have to speak a bit louder. But I don't speak loud in general, that's why it's like this. So, as I said, 3 is when you wake up, give yourself something to focus on. As I said, praying is a good thing, reading something positive, meditating, doing affirmation, or acknowledge something that you are grateful for. Now, I don't do journaling in the morning because I don't want to tire myself, and it extends so much mental energy on doing that when I can do other things that make me feel positive without putting that much effort. So I do those things, one or all of those things, or as many as I feel like I want to do. And then the 4th thing that I do is drink water. Drink water, people. I know people say water, and I previously couldn't understand why. It didn't make sense to me, but I've actually got to realize why water is important. A lot of times people are grumpy because they are dehydrated and they don't know that. So if you don't drink enough water, that is something to do as soon as you wake up or as early as you can. And it's good to have a water bottle in your room, just to remind yourself that before I get out of this room, I have to drink some water. And let's read a bit about how it helps. I was reading an article, and it actually made it sense of why it actually worked. I couldn't understand the science behind it, but now I do. Here is the key point though. During the night, the body goes through a long time without food and water consumption. When we wake, our blood sugar and hydration levels are therefore naturally low. And guess what? Both these issues alone can create low mood, nervous tension, and strange body sensations. You hear it, people? Part of your low mood could be because you are dehydrated. And that's why you have to make sure you drink water. Now, the bonus tip. The bonus tip is exercise. You either do that in the morning or you can do that during the day. It releases endorphins, which gives you like a positive mood. And another thing I want to say is you have to make sure you like stay in the sun or get in touch with the sun for at least 10 minutes to 15 minutes in the day, or allow yourself to see that sunlight, because that helps like release certain chemicals. One of them I think is serotonin, which is very important in regulating like your moods. So also by being outside in the sun, exposing certain areas of your skin without sunscreen can help you produce vitamin D, which also helps one of the things that it does is help regulate your moods. So these are some bonus things that you can do, and make sure you follow the 4 steps. Add the staying out in the sun for like 10 minutes at least into that from the bonus points, and you have better mornings, hopefully, like I've had whenever I follow these tips. Have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment if you would like to, if you like this video, and see you next time.